Hi there, it's Ed Anguish from Speak English with Ed. Today we're going to carry on with the second video in this series where we take a look at personal pronouns. If you haven't seen that video, then click the link above here and watch it now. It's a good idea to watch that one first because that sets all the ground rules for what we're going to be talking about today. Well, today we're going to be talking about pronouns where the speaker is talking about you, the second person. So let's dive straight in and make a start. Now, part two, first of all, let's have a recap. The first thing that we discovered last time was that pronouns replace nouns. We discovered that there are two types of pronouns. There are subject pronouns and there are object pronouns, and they cannot be interchanged. You can't use one instead of the other. You must use them in the right place. You cannot get them mixed up. Now, we had a look at these two sentences. I hit David. David hit me. Both I and me are pronouns. They're both in the pronouns, but in different positions. I is in a subject position and me is in an object position. They're both first person pronouns. They're both when the speaker is talking about himself. Nobody else. He's not talking about anybody else. He's talking about himself. So they're first person pronouns. Now we've got that established, what we did last time. Let's try and create a little sheet. I want you to create this sheet and put understanding pronouns. It's going to tell you, we're going to build everything out and see what they are. So in first position, we did first position last video, and first position gave us the pronouns I and me. Put I in the subject position and me in the object position. So let's move on now and let's have a look at them in a second person position, and that is going to be when the speaker is talking about you. So you are the one that is being talked about. Now, the second person is the listener. The second person is the listener, or the person who is being spoken to. And that, as we say, is you. Now, the pronoun is you. That's the pronoun. You is used in the subject position. You is used as a subject pronoun. And you is also used as an object pronoun. So there's not a lot to remember here, really. You've only got you, and it's used in both places. You and it's the same you, so you can't get them mixed up. It's the same you in both places, both subject and in object. See, I told you that they were going to be simple. This is dead simple. Second person pronouns. Very, I like that one. So, let's have a look at it in in a sentence. So we've got a sentence here. You know Mary, and if you turn that round, Mary knows you. Now, both you and you are pronouns for second person. The subject pronoun we've got at the front on the top one. The object pronoun we've got on the bottom one, and it's taking up the object position. So the pronoun you is used in both positions, subject and object. So we can put that back in put that in our sheet now. We can add that to our sheet. So we've got you and you going into the second person pronoun positions, so subject and object. So we've got that one completed out. Right, now let's have a look at the third person point of view. Now, a third person is going to be a little bit more difficult because you've got a little bit more to remember. There's more of them. For a start, we're going to start with the ladies. Ladies and gentlemen are separated when it comes to third person pronouns. So we're talking about someone who is not here with third person. The speaker is not talking about you. He's not talking about himself or herself. He's talking about someone who isn't here. He's talking about people who are somewhere else. And that is a third person aspect, a third person point of view. So, what we can say here is that Mary bought a dress. Now, Mary isn't here. Now, by saying Mary bought a dress, we've now established who bought the dress. It was Mary. And then we can say she likes the dress. So in the second sentence, we've used a pronoun because we've established who Mary is in the first sentence. And then we can go on and use a pronoun. So, she likes the dress. This is using the pronoun, just using the pronoun. And as we can see, we remember from the last one that the order of the sentence is subject, verb, object. Now, the subject is the one that's doing the liking here, in this case, the action of the verb, doing the liking. So, Mary, she, is the one who does the action of the verb, likes the dress. And the dress is being liked. It is receiving the action of the verb. The action of the verb is to like. The dress is receiving that like. It is being liked. So, we can say that the subject causes the action of the verb to happen to the object. The subject causes the action of the verb to happen to the object. Now, we're talking about someone who is not here, the third person. She likes the dress. The dress fits her. The subject pronoun for the third person is she. And for the object pronoun, it's her, which put into the sentences comes out as she likes the dress. The dress fits her. This is using pronouns. So, object and subject pronouns. So, she and her. These are the two that you've got for female, because female and male are different. So, if we can look at our sheet again, look at the sheet, in the third person column, we can write in she and her. She and her. Third person, female pronouns. Okay? So we're building out now. So first person, we've got I and me. First person. Second person, we've got you and you. That's dead simple. That's dead easy. And third person, we've got she and her. Okay, so now for the gentleman. Let's have a look at the gentleman. As I say, we're still talking about third person, so it's someone who is not here. We're talking about someone who is not here. You and me talking together about someone who's not here. So, I can say, David bought a coat. He likes the coat. David bought a coat. He likes the coat. I've introduced David. I can't say him or he or whatever because you don't know who I'm talking about. So I've got to tell you who I'm talking about. And I can tell you that I'm talking about David, and he's bought a coat. He likes the coat. Now in the second sentence, you know who I'm talking about. you know that I'm talking about David because I told you in the first sentence. So now I can use he as a pronoun. Or I can use the pronoun he to replace the noun. He likes the coat. He likes the coat. Now, as we said before, this follows the subject, verb, object rule all the way through. He, subject, likes, verb, coat, object. And it is the subject that is giving the action of the verb and making it happen to the object of the sentence. So, he likes the coat fits him. He and him are male third person pronouns. So what we can do now is add these to our list. So our list is getting a little bit longer. We've got first person I and me. I and me, first person talking about himself or herself. Second person is you and you, whether you're talking about you in the subject or in the object position of the sentence. It doesn't matter. They're both you. And then third person, ladies are she and her, and gentlemen are he and him. He and him. So now what we've got there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 pronouns now. We're starting to build a little bit of a list. But that's talking about an object next. So there, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to talk about an object in the third person position. So, David bought a car. Now we've still got David because he's the one that's doing the action in this instance. He's doing the buying. But the car is an object that he bought. He bought a car. So the car is the object. And there we go. Subject, verb, object, as you can see. And it will follow the rules that the subject causes the action, which is buying, to happen to the object. So that was to the car. So the car was bought by David. So now we can start using pronouns. I can say that I can refer to David as he because I've told you who he is now. You know who David is. And I can say he cleans it every day. He cleans it every day. Pronouns. Both of them. For a pronoun for David, a pronoun for the car. So, it is very clean today. It is very clean today. Now, this it here is a pronoun for an object, for the third person object. It is very clean. And the one on the above it is the pronoun for David. We know that the pronoun for David. So third person male, third person female, third person object, they're different. So the subject pronoun for the third person male is he. But the third person subject pronoun for an object is it. It applies to both subject and object positions for objects. Now, we're going to put this in our sheet now. So we're building this up nicely. We've got I for first person subject pronouns. We've got me for first person object pronouns. We've got you for both subject and object for second person pronouns. We've got she. Now then, third person becomes different because for ladies we've got she and her. For gentlemen we've got he and him. And for objects we've got it and it. So we've got it for both subject and object. So that's it for understanding personal pronouns. Now, don't forget to watch the video again. We watch it a few times and see how it goes. I want you to put a link in the card above here to watch the first video, because it's really, really important that you watch them, and watch them a few times just to make sure that you understand. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch that. If you have watched it, well then, do the quiz. Have you done the quiz? Make sure that you understand that as well, and see how you're progressing with the quiz. So these two videos have all been about singular pronouns. In the next video, we're going to look at plural pronouns. So make sure you make a note and watch that. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. To get YouTube to tell you, you have to ring the bell. So you subscribe and you've got to ring that little black bell at the side as well, and they'll get you. Now, if you're getting any benefit of this, please give us a thumbs up, and it will be much appreciated. So don't forget to watch next time. Please practice, practice, practice. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.